Alright, quick update on green Satoshi token. So on the daily time frame, we're really just putting in another doji candle. We're showing extreme indecision in the market day after day. Yesterday we had a huge doji candle. Today we are seeing another doji candle that seems to be wanting to pull more to the downside than the upside. So why is this such a bearish signal? Well, if we come over to the 4-hourly time frames for green Satoshi token, you can see I've got this green box, this big long rectangle, and this basically encompasses a bunch of the lows on this time frame and also all of the lows in the touch points from the wicks. And this is a very important zone for us to hold because, you know, this whole zone here to the side, this was a big accumulation range before we did go up and have a very brutal rally, a very brutal drop, brutal rally, brutal drop. It seems like green Satoshi token is getting cracked like an egg right now, getting tossed around left and right. But nonetheless, these moves are very good for trading. I'm just not convinced that now is the perfect time to be trading because, as you can see, bar this accumulation range, we only have one more accumulation range. So in my opinion, it'd be brutal for the markets if we did have another throwback into this range. We've already back tested this range with this big wick that we put in. This was literally today. Yeah, so let's see when this absolute wick was coming in. So yeah, this was literally, I mean, we had the push down today, but you know, we were also pushing down into this last night. So this is a huge zone. Honestly, the analysis is going to be super simple. If we do roll over at this moment in time, this is when we need to see continuation. The whole stock market, the whole crypto market, everything got decimated, and Bitcoin is still kind of showing some weakness. We've got this head and shoulders pattern potentially playing out on Bitcoin. If we come over to the daily time frame, you can see this is a really lackluster, you know, very weak pump that we've done today compared to what we did yesterday. We've got a huge bearish engulfing candle. At the start of the day, we kind of really wanted to have like a V-shaped recovery, and I mean, there's a few ways that you can look at this because you can still argue, you know, potentially this is a bull flag or something. I think the point of the matter that I'm trying to make is we don't know whether we've found the bottom for Bitcoin yet, and Bitcoin could go down a lot lower. If I pull up this chart for Bitcoin that we've got, you can see Bitcoin is actually kind of sitting in this fractal pattern that we had very similar to down here. And what's interesting about this is we've already taken out your first major level of support. Now, you know, at least every other time and within these patterns as well, you can see you break down below, you come all the way down to the bottom of the candle of this this support level down here. So although it is very impressive that Bitcoin has had a nice bounce from 30,000, I don't think we should yet rule out the possibility of 29,000 being on the table, especially while we're kind of chopping around in this range. While we're below 34,000, we're within these two trend lines, so we're just going to get converged and do a lot of choppy action. So I don't necessarily think now is the right time to get extremely euphoric on the altcoin market. That is just my perspective, and as you can see, I mean, it looks like we could potentially be moving up into these EMA ribbons, but this is the hourly time frame. GST doesn't look the greatest right now, and it is the same with green metaverse token. They are both in some kind of choppy price action. On the 4-hourly time frames, you know, we've got rejected from these EMA ribbons, so the trend is your friend until the end. I'd say until we have a solid flip of these EMA ribbons, then it just does look like we are channeling to the downside. You can see if we connect these lows now, if I remove this some of these trend lines, you can see this is this channel that we're just heading down in, and it doesn't seem like we've made any type of decision at the moment of recording. We do have bearish volume continue to come in. Bearish momentum is still king at this moment in time, and like I said, I really do think this could get a lot more ugly because, you know, this, look at this, you can see we back tested. This was support the whole time. This was support. And then we flipped it as resistance. And now what's happening? We've broken below, and we're literally experiencing a back test in the market. So until GMT has a solid move, and I'm talking about, you know, wanting to see 4-hourly candles, multiple 4-hourly candles. I want to see a daily candle close of us breaking this kind of region. I mean, if I'm drawing this hypothetically, if we do something like this, your breakout could be around the $5 region. I personally would not be looking to trade any GST at this moment in time. I do have a tiny bit of GST. When I did pull some profits on the table on Green Metaverse token, I got some GST, as it was pretty much a free trade at that point and the market cap is very low. I might as well hold this for the next short period of time. I mean, I'm not going to sell it for a loss. So GST is getting chopped up right now. Keep an eye on this green box. I'm going to mark it red just to differentiate from the previous accumulation range, and also because this is now resistance while we're heading back into it. So keep an eye on this. We could come down, we could W out, we could form an inverse head and shoulders, something like this, and then break back above at some point later on. But until we do have this solid break, I will just be sitting on the sidelines, especially as GMT, the mother coin of Green Satoshi token, is also experiencing some very choppy stuff right now. You can see GMT also has this accumulation range, and we're breaking up into it now. I previously said in my GMT videos, this range absolutely needs to hold. Otherwise, you know, there's really not much data traded between this accumulation range and this one. So it'd be a straight drop. For GMT, this could potentially mean a 55% drop. What would that mean for Green Satoshi token? Well, considering the market cap is a lot lower, I could imagine this could take a very nasty hit. So be very careful trading these altcoins, trading these move to earns. You can see previously Green Satoshi token was perfectly backed up by the daily EMA ribbons, and now we're below the daily EMA ribbons. I think we should be very cautious. These two doji candles, while we're breaking down into support, is very worrying because it shows indecision, and this is the point where we need to see a strong decision bounce from the market with confidence returning, and we're not seeing that. We're coming into, you know, your last level of support, and we're showing extreme weakness. So be very cautious on this. Daily time frame below the EMAs, 4 hourly time frame below the EMAs, and they're bearish. And hourly time frame, you are just below / in the short-term moving average of the lower EMA ribbons. So not looking perfect right now. I would definitely be sitting on the sidelines until we have a solid breakout and a solid market reversal happening for Bitcoin. Until Bitcoin starts pushing above 44,000, a lot of these altcoins are going to get chopped up, spit out, chewed back up, and spat back out. So be very careful. That's all I've got for GST. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.